lifelong best friends. Take turns picking topics, then they see where it ends. So wild, it's weird, and sometimes specific. Whatever it is, you know it will be terrific. It's hyperfixation time.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hyperfixation Time. I'm Erin.
And I'm Danny.
And we are two lifelong best friends. And this is the podcast where we drag each other and you down the rabbit holes that one of us can't stop thinking about. So we switch off topics each week. We just try to dive deep into the weird, the wild, and the wonderfully random. And the other person doesn't know what it's going to be. So if you have seen any or looked at any of our episodes, such a wide range of topics. And this week is Danny's turn for the topic, and I don't know what it's going to be. So buckle up, get ready, and we will jump first into our microfixations, which is basically...
I say like hyperfixation of the week.
Hyperfixation of the week, but we call
what's
it
on our
microfixation.
mind?
Yeah, like what's been going on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then we will go into Danny's topic. Well, Danny, do you have a microfixation of the week?
Yeah, today it's strawberries.
Aw, okay.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, the kiddo and I went strawberry picking today, like first thing this morning. It was his first day of summer vacation today. So
yeah, he just graduated.
Graduated preschool. He's a kindergartner now.
Oh, that's crazy. How does that feel?
I don't know, like fine, I guess. Like it's
yeah,
because he was in preschool and it's like, it's kindergarten basically is like the same thing,
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, I feel good. But anyways, so this was our third year in a row going strawberry picking.
Nice.
So it's just like become this fun little tradition. And today we made some strawberry jam. I've never done that before. It turned out really liquidy. Okay. So it's kind of more of like a strawberry syrup. So we ended up putting some on ice cream and it was delicious.
I was going to say that sounds really good for ice cream then if it's like liquidy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so strawberries.
Nice. Where do you go for that? Like where is that?
We go to Carindale Farm, which is in Oregon, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Love it
sense.
there. So yeah, it's a good time.
Lovely.
What is yours?
So mine this week is going to be thunderstorms because we've had a lot. I don't know. Have they hit you as much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think at some point, when it started, I was like sitting right where I am right here and there's a big glass window right there.
Yeah.
And I literally jumped away because the trees like were horizontal. And I was like, those trees should not be that angle. I'm going to get away from this window. Anyways, tell me what's on your mind.
No, we've had quite a few in a row, I feel like the last few days. And I love a thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Our house right now, we can't really see it that well. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, but I just want to be outside during a thunderstorm. Not like outside, like in the rain, but like in your garage or something like that. In
your sunroom or something.
In your sunroom. But even that, we have so many trees in the back, so it's hard to actually see anything. I don't know. Every time it storms, especially during the day, I'm like, oh, I just love a freaking thunderstorm. Yeah. I feel so much like nature, power. That sounds very woo-woo. I know
that sounds witchy.
It sounds witchy, but like I just love it so much. So that's mine.
I thought you were going to tell me that a tree fell at your place or something because I've been seeing crazy tree.
Knock on wood.
Tree damage.
On wood. I know we have so many trees. I was watching them last night bending as well. We have a ton of brush and things like that in the back. I've been looking around for baby bird nests because that always stresses me out during storms. That's fair. But I haven't found any. So I'm going to assume they're all good. Everyone's safe still in their nests. All right. Main topic time. We haven't done that in a bit.
True. All right. Well, I did not give you a clue, but funnily enough, you know how we tend to talk about similar things week to week?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Mm-hmm. So last episode, you talked about a British show. Mm-hmm. Well, today I'm going to talk about a British show.
Is it Taskmaster?
It is not.
Okay.
So,
wait, I have another guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Great British Bake Off.
No.
Wait.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that you're not going to guess it.
Oh, okay.
But if you have something else, go ahead.
I watch a lot of British shows, but okay. No, I probably won't get it.
And so I'm going to be continuing to be a little elusive here for a moment. It's a web series on YouTube, and it's only 6 episodes. They were released between the years 2011 and 2016. It's pretty niche, but the first episode does have 83 million views on YouTube.
Whoa.
So it's like niche but popular at the same time, kind of, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I'm gonna ask you a question, Erin.
Oh God, okay.
What's your favorite idea?
Oh, it's like I got a text. But I don't know what my favorite idea is, no.
Mine is being creative.
Got
That rang no bells? Okay, cool.
Nope. Got nothing.
So today we're going to be talking about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, cool. So with that then, I want to make you watch the first episode.
Okay.
It's only like 3 minutes long.
Okay.
I did look up like copyright rules because I was curious. Because I thought it would be fun if we got a little bit of commentary from you as you're watching it. Like if you're just like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like if we were able to include some of you, whatever you say.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
This looks like
don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Oh, sorry. I thought
it's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Stop it. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I wanted to include like your commentary as we watched it if you say anything. So I'm going to share the screen with you so we can watch it together. Let's see. Here we go.
Sorry, I'm not making any noise.
Good.
Oh, what the?
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative. I just tried to think creatively. Now when you look at this orange, tell me please, what do you see?
It's just a boring old orange.
It's like my
Not
nightmares.
to me. I see a silly face walking along and smiling at me.
I don't see what you mean.
Cause you're not thinking creatively. So take a look at my hair. Use my hair to express myself.
That sounds really boring.
I use my hair to express myself. Now, when you stare at the clouds in the sky, don't you find it exciting?
No.
Come on, take another look.
Oh wait, I can see a hat. I can see a cat. I can see a man with a baseball bat. I can see a dog.
This feels like an acid trip, and I've never been on acid
True.
before.
You're getting the hang of it now, using your minds to have a good time.
I might paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down.
What the? It's like Sesame Street meets Blue's Clues meets
How to be a creative
Nightmares.
wicked
There you go. It's a great
collect some
description.
leaves and sticks and arrange them into your favorite color.
Blue. Green.
Green is not a creative color. There's one more thing that you need to know before you let your creativity flow. Listen to your heart, listen to the rain, listen to the voices in your brain. Come on guys, let's get creative. Get creative.
now it's like digital. Oh, that red thing scares me. I don't like it.
That's fair.
The mop head. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh.
Now let's all agree to never be creative again.
The end.
What the actual? I don't even know what I just watched.
Great. Yeah.
It literally got so scared. Like at first it was like weirdly uncomfortable. And then
uncanny.
it just got like, yeah, uncanny valley. And then I was like, I don't really, okay. But they were kind of like Sesame Street characters. And then it went into just like, okay, now they're getting weirder. And then, but I kind of like the song. So it's like a conflicting situation.
It's been stuck in my head for the last week while I've been researching this.
And then it just got fucking weird. Like what happened with all the meat?
Yeah, like turned into a horror, like an actual horror movie kind of.
Death. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got scared.
Sorry to do that to you.
No, it's okay.
So you pretty much did a good job there of describing what we just watched.
I mean, I feel like my face said more than anything.
Yeah, definitely go to YouTube to watch Erin's face.
Yes.
If we're including clips there. That was perfect. But if you are unfamiliar with Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, it's basically exactly what Erin said, which it's like Sesame Street or Muppets is like a good way to picture it initially. The video starts with 3 characters sitting at a kitchen table. People on the internet have kind of labeled them as Red Guy, Yellow Guy, and Duck. They do not have official names. And you even called out, you're like, the red one is scary or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
That's fair. Yeah, they don't have official names. The creators believed keeping them mysterious as possible was like the best approach.
Fair.
And one of the creators even said not knowing their names is kind of central to the idea of watching a show where you don't understand what it is or where it is.
So is there more? You said there's 6 episodes or...
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll kind of get into all of that. Yeah. But again, so this video, like the first 25 seconds are basically silent. And then it just opens with this like anthropomorphized table calendar, like one of those calendars that you flip the page and then it's a new date.
For
right?
every day. Yeah.
Yeah. So it opens up and it goes, "What's your favorite idea?" "Mine is being creative," which that specifically has been like so stuck in my head.
Well, and it's like, oh, that sounds great. Like I love being creative. And it also kind of reminded me of Face from Nickelodeon. Do you remember Face?
Oh, yeah. My old friend.
My old
friend Face. I miss him.
Hope they're doing
what he's
good.
up to. Yeah. So yeah, it starts exactly like you said, all happy and you're excited. I don't know. It's just peppy and cute.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's, an educational music video for kids about creativity. But then it gets weird. And it really turns when Yellow Guy goes, "I might paint a picture of a clown." And then the calendar goes, "Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down." And like all this black ink just falls over the painting. And you're like, that's kind of strange. One of my other favorite quotes from this one is, "Green is not a creative color."
Yes, I made a face during that because I was like, green is great.
Yeah, green. What's wrong with green?
There's nothing wrong with green.
And then it really turns when the calendar goes, "Come on, guys, let's get creative." And from there, we have like animation style switch ups. The Muppets changed real people wearing costumes. There's weird dancing. The music starts to get kind of manic and faster. They're doing crafts on a table. One of them spells out death. It goes as far as there's a cake that looks like it could potentially be made out of bloody organs.
Yes, the meat.
And then it ends with the characters back at the table. They kind of look like they just been through something. And the calendar goes, "Now let's all agree to never be creative again." And that's it. So did you like it? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm curious to know where it goes.
Sure.
It kind of reminded me of like Charlie. And then it turns kind of dark.
Yeah.
And so I have no idea where this is going to go. And that's intriguing to me. But it did freak me out towards the end. Like I don't like the what is it?
Anthropomorphized?
Yes, anthropomorphized. Because they were already creepy before, and then they got weirder. And then the meat stuff. So
yeah, I know that you like creepy, but you also don't like creepy.
So it's a love-hate relationship. Yeah. It really is. This would be maybe more of like a hate-love relationship.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because I feel like love-hate is like you love it more than you hate it. Hate-love is I don't really like it, but I can appreciate it.
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay. Just made that up on the spot. So
I like it. So yeah, that's actually in my notes right here is my next thing says you either love it or hate it.
Okay.
It doesn't say you either that you love hate it though.
Okay.
But yeah.
Or hate love it.
Yeah. I obviously like it. It just does something right for me. I just enjoy it. I tend to like weird things, and it kind of reminds me of when we were talking about like House on the Rock.
Yeah.
How it's just like this really weird place. And to some people, that's going to be too much, but I enjoy it. This is for me.
Well, and maybe I will as like we keep going, like to know what the rest of it is. But the initial reaction, that's what it is.
I will warn you, I'm going to give some spoilers, but
Okay, that's fine.
do feel like it's kind of one of those things where it's not too much of a spoiler. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you can still watch it and enjoy it, even if you know
I black out
some of the
during
plot
these
line here.
every time,
you know?
so
There you
I'll
go.
probably forget anyway.
So I discovered this in the year 2015, and I totally became obsessed with it, which is why I kind of wanted to talk about it today, because it was a hyperfixation for me. Like, I just went down all the rabbit holes about this.
Okay.
There's basically, in every single episode, there's these Easter eggs that tie the episodes together and little clues that they'll give as to like what's going on. And basically that leads to a lot of discussion and discourse online about different theories and like, what could this possibly mean? You know what I mean?
The creators wanted it to be like with the names or not having names is like it's open to your own interpretation, basically.
Yes.
And like I want to hear what all that, or maybe they don't want to, but just like it creates a conversation, I guess.
And I feel like they, specifically have been pretty vague in terms of anything, because it does lead to more discussion. And like, I think once you say what it is, then that conversation stops.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Once you confirm or deny.
Yeah. I just love the weirdness of it. I like other, weird things. Like, I kind of kept thinking of Tim Burton. That's a different type of weird, but similar in that it's
that like style.
It's weird. I don't know. Yeah. And I like the juxtaposition of like the happy childlike show with weird dark themes.
Yeah. It's like what's that show that you had me watch under the
over the garden wall?
Yeah. Where it's like just kind of weird, but good.
I would say that's a good example of similar.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like I will end up liking this. That's going to be my prediction. But
I think
right
Over
now,
the Garden Wall is a little cuter than this, but
a little cuter, yeah, for sure. But I also think like I do like the creativity.
That's what it is.
Don't
it's
be
the
creative.
Yeah. Never be creative again.
Yeah, exactly. But
it is kind of ironic that, and I think that was on purpose too.
Probably.
You know what I mean? But ironic that a video about not being creative, or like with that message, is super creative.
Yeah. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. It seems like, or there's similarities, but they're each their own thing, I guess.
So just like a quick little anecdote is that I had this customer service job many years ago, and I remember it was Halloween, and I was talking to a customer, and I don't know, we were just talking about Halloween or whatever, and she was saying that her husband was dressing up, and she was like, yeah, I don't know, he likes this weird show online, so he's dressing up as the red guy. And I was like, like, oh my god, that's so cool. And she was like, you know who that is? Like, she was so disappointed.
Like, don't encourage him.
Exactly. And I was like, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's like a red mop on his head. That's what it looked like.
Essentially, yeah. Okay, so a little backstory of who created it. There's Baker Terry, and he voiced a lot of the characters in it. And then Becky Sloan and Joseph Pelling are creators of the show. These three met while studying fine art and animation at Kingston University. And just the first episode they produced just in their free time with no budget, but then it ended up receiving widespread critical acclaim, and it even aired at the Sundance Film Festival.
No way. I mean, you said, what was it, like 83 million views or something too, as well?
That's a lot.
Oy. We get 20. 20 tops.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Sorry. I'll take that up.
No, I like it. The show ended up attracting some mainstream commissioners, but they declined all their offers because, in quotes, they wanted to keep it fairly odd, and they wanted to have the freedom to do exactly what we wanted.
Okay. I'm liking this more and more.
Cool. This is a show where I convince Erin to watch the things that I like. I feel like that's a common theme in this.
Actually,
show.
I think that too. But I also think there are a few people in my life that I feel like I could be really freaking weird with. And you are definitely one of them. Where like I can see us being like, no, we're just going to do what we want to do, and it's going to be freaking weird. And we don't want any outside input in on it. I just think that being weird is underrated.
Oh, I guess. I mean, I've pretty much embraced that at some point. I was like, I don't know, people definitely have thought I was weird before, and I was just like, whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm going to be who I am.
And it's lovely to have somebody in your life that you can be weird with too when you're weird. Yeah.
I think we were pretty weird when we were kids.
Yeah, you know what? I think I can trace it all back at this point.
So, to get funding, they started a Kickstarter. And their goal was to fund 4 or more episodes, but obviously they ended up doing 5 more.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sequel, and it's like a full show, 20-minute episodes essentially, on the streaming service Dropout. But I am totally not talking about that today.
Okay. Okay.
Because that would be too much to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. Part 2.
But yeah. Yeah. Dropout is like this streaming service that was basically made by College Humor. Do you remember that YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
it's on there. Yeah.
Haven't heard of it, but that makes sense though.
Yeah. So what I'm going to talk about for the rest of this episode is just give you a really quick synopsis of the theme of each episode. And then I want to talk about some of the theories that people have come up with as to like what it all means. And just wanted to also note that I think part of what made me enjoy this so much is because of the fact that people were able to look at all these different points in the videos and create like a thesis as to, you know, what it means. I personally almost switched my major to English in college because I really loved writing a paper, and maybe it would be a paper about a book that we read, and I would just come up with like the most garbage thing and defend it and get an A, because it was like, well, you've got all the proof right there. But like the author absolutely did not write it about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that's kind of what people did with this, and I found it fun. This is another like side note real quick. Have you ever heard of the Pixar theory?
No.
It's basically, this came out a while ago. So there's like been so many more Pixar movies that have come out since whoever came up with this idea developed it. But it was just that all the Pixar movies are connected, and then they explain, you know, why and how and everything like that.
Oh.
And that also reminds me of like the theories from this. It's just like,
okay.
I don't know, you're finding
like
all these little clues.
The Easter eggs you said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
If you find that interesting, definitely go ahead, find a video, or you can read the, original thing. But
because they have like Nemo in Monsters Inc. or maybe it's vice versa. Or, like they like do like something like that, but like they like put like a little something even if it hasn't come out yet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I like that. It's like Taylor Swift Easter eggs.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Okay, so let's get into the episode.
Yes.
So the second episode, the theme is time. And so each episode basically goes over a different theme. The first one was about being creative, right? And so this one is about time. Each episode also has a different anthropomorphized object singing about the theme.
Okay.
So in the second episode, there's a wall clock that sings about time.
If it's time, then it must be a clock of some kind. Okay.
My favorite quote from the clock is, "The past is far behind us. The future doesn't exist." And each episode also just like follows that formula of seeming to be a normal kids show that just turns weird. In this episode, we get the introduction of Yellow Guy's dad, who looks horrifying. His nose is crooked. He kind of looks like Yellow Guy, so he's also got yellow skin and blue hair. But for his hair, it's just these like weird blue strings of yarn. His pupils go in different directions, and then he has like 3 buck teeth.
Are you going to show a picture?
I can if you want. I wasn't going to. Okay, if you do watch these, I will be excited because they genuinely keep getting stuck in my head, and specific parts. You know, like your favorite shows and stuff, you like to quote them. How many SpongeBob quotes do you quote?
Oh God, all
I
the
would
time.
Just love to have somebody that I can quote these things with.
Okay.
And they would know what I'm talking about.
I feel like PJ's going to like this too.
Ready for your jump scare.
I feel like I'm going to have like a nightmare about this tonight though.
Oh gosh, that bad. Okay, here you go.
I don't know. I'm scared. Yeah, okay.
So his name is Roy, which we learn from just different other Easter eggs in the videos.
Okay. So he actually has like a confirmed name.
Yeah, true. He's the only one with the confirmed name.
Yeah, I don't like him.
That's fair. I'll stop making you look at him.
No, it's okay.
Here we go.
Thanks. I just needed to see like a visual.
That's Roy. And he's just kind of important because he kind of is in a bunch of the episodes. Okay, so another Easter egg that we see in this one is there's a wall calendar and it has the date June 19th.
That was in the first episode too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good observation. So this episode of Hyperfixation Time should be airing on June 17th.
Look
And
at you.
so, yeah, I was trying to make it close to that. That's why we're talking about this today. And yeah, so June 19th is like this date that's just in every episode.
Okay.
And so that kind of leads to a lot of these theories. Like, what could that mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Juneteenth?
Yeah. Well, this is a British show.
Oh,
I
you're
did
right.
think about that as well. So yeah, it's not anything to do with the holiday Juneteenth. Okay. So how this episode gets dark is that time makes their appearance change and their bodies start to decay. And then the quote that ends the episode is, eventually everyone runs out of time.
Oh,
Yeah.
the dark humor of it all.
Yeah. So then between episode 2 and 3, we get these two really weird videos that are 20 seconds long each, and they basically look like ransom videos where the characters are being held hostage.
Okay.
And you're just like, what the heck is going on here? The red guy even says, if you're watching us, then we need your help.
I don't know if I would save the red guy. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
And then, okay, so episode 3 starts by showing us a poster hung up on a tree, and it's a missing persons poster of the 3 of them. And it says, last seen June 19th. And then they're just on a picnic together. This episode has a butterfly singing about love. And then you kind of find out, like how innocent and beautiful and sweet.
I'm just thinking how random all of this is. Like, you could literally say like the most random sentence, and I'd be like, yeah, that feels like it might fit into this based on what I basically don't know, but kind of know at this point.
So how could love go dark? Well, love goes dark because the only correct way to love is to worship the king. The king's name is Malcolm. He's the king of love. And
this is what I mean. Like, you could totally just be pulling this out of your ass right now, and it would be like, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? This is like a fever dream.
That's fair.
But you're not, I know. But I'm just like, I can't even predict what's going to come next.
I was going to actually cut this next thing out, but just because you said that, I just want to tell you this because it's funny. And they have to feed the king gravel. Otherwise he gets angry. So I don't know. Anyways, basically this episode, it seems like they're really trying to make Yellow Guy join a religious cult so that he'll never be lonely.
Okay.
Episode 4 starts with them back at home. We see June 19th on the wall calendar again. We see Roy's phone number on a corkboard in the background. There's also, I mentioned King Malcolm. There's a statuette of his head on the fireplace. And
question.
Yeah.
If you call the number that they listed for the yellow guy, right? Mm-hmm. Yellow guy?
Yeah, his dad.
His dad. Oh, for Roy. Does it go to anything?
I don't know what happens if you call it, but that is very intuitive of you because there is, and I don't know if it's that number, but there's like a number later on in the series where basically if you type it into Google or you try to search it or whatever, a really freaking weird video shows up.
Okay. It's like salad fingers. No.
It's just like, it's same. I think it's of the characters again, but it's like, it's that same just kind of like, what the heck is going on? This feels weird. Ooh. So yeah, that's very intuitive of you.
I was curious because it feels like something that you could easily put into.
Yeah, it feels like every little thing that's in the scene has meaning.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's very intentional. Every little thing.
Okay. So in episode 4, a computer sings about digital technology.
Okay.
And this one turns dark when Red Guy touches the computer, and then the computer goes, "Don't touch me!" And then like everything changes, and the animation changes into this like creepy digital style, and that is a big part of the episode. This episode really touches on like, what is reality? And essentially the Red Guy doesn't get sucked in to the message that the computer is trying to portray, but he also literally doesn't get sucked into the computer like Yellow Guy and the Duck do. So the Red Guy is left out of the computer. Does that make sense?
Like in a purgatory, or not purgatory, but like on his own versus there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he basically follows the cord from the computer outside of the room. Mm-hmm. And when he opens the door, it's like, the best way I can describe this is it's like a different reality, essentially. Oh. And so it kind of feels like he's like breaking the fourth wall. Yeah. And then his head pops into confetti. Erin's like, how many more random things are you going to say?
I'm picturing a dandelion. Mama had a baby and its head popped off. But that's not confetti. Yeah. But I've just, when you said head popped off or whatever, exploded.
Yeah.
That's
I forgot about that little phrase.
I know. Which is so weird, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It is. It's also
is
dark. A beautiful thing that went dark. Okay, so episode 5 takes place in a kitchen. We see June 19th on the wall, and it starts with Yellow Guy and Duck going, something's different, something's missing. The thing that's missing is Red Guy. He's not there. And this episode has a can of food and a giant steak singing about eating healthy. And this one, I would say this one's probably the darkest of all of them. Duck starts kind of catching on that something's wrong. He's being very like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up being eaten alive by a giant can. The can is eating his organs. And then we see Yellow Guy eating, and he's like, there's like a bunch of cans around and green feathers for the duck. So basically the Yellow Guy is eating the duck. And then the video ends with Red Guy walking away with a briefcase in the rain, and that's it. It's just kind of mysterious. You're like, what is that? What does that mean? Where is he? What happened to him? You know?
Was he a part of any of this?
Oh, I will say, if you freeze frame, you can see like Red Guy's head in the microwave. What does any of this mean? I don't know. Mysterious. All right. So the last one, episode 6, starts with Yellow Guy. Like, I feel like this one starts kind of dark already. The other ones kind of start happy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this one, Yellow Guy is crying in his bed, and the beds next to him are empty because Duck and Red Guy are gone. And in this one, a table lamp sings about dreaming. Yellow Guy has had enough of this. He's trying to stop the singing. He doesn't want it anymore. And it pretty much immediately gets weird, and we see more animation style changing and things like that.
Okay.
It flashes suddenly to Red Guy asleep at a computer desk cubicle. So it's like a complete shift in anything we've seen from the series so far, right?
Yeah.
Kind of wakes up. And so it turns out that he's just like working in this boring office full of other Red Guys.
Oh, with his
It's
own
like
kind.
they're a species. Yeah. And he's kind of like, he wants to have fun. So he starts imagining this piece of paper, like dancing and singing. And then
I miss the singing of the like random objects and things around him, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Red Guy's like, oh, should we do that? And then the boss is like, no, that sounds really boring, which is a callback to episode 1 where the Red Guy says that. So yeah, it turns out all the Red Guys are just like really boring. They wear clothes also. And then there's a part where the Red Guy gets on stage for like an open mic night. He's naked seemingly to them, and he starts singing the first original song.
Okay.
And then Roy is in the audience watching creepily. And then reality just shifts again. And his microphone starts talking to him. And turns out he's in this control room for the videos. So like he's kind of looking in at the videos that are being made, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes to this giant plug in the wall and unplugs it. It goes all the way back to the beginning of episode 1. And it's the 3 of them sitting at the kitchen table again. But every one is a different color.
Oh.
And the table calendar turns, and it's June 20th.
Oh.
And that's it.
Oh, there's so much to that.
Any thoughts? I mean, do you have any theories just based on what I've said so far?
I can see how it's open to interpretation.
Yeah.
With the suits and then the stand-up, and then was he in like a different timeline, and then he was like, I know what's going to happen, so I turn this all off, or let's get just past this one day and move on. I don't know. There's
deep, huh?
Yeah, I need time. I need some time to think about that.
There's not enough time. That's actually a quote from the duck, just so you know. So yeah, just like a lot of props will be used from episode to episode. And it really seems like there's always this common theme that the characters are not doing things the correct way. It's like these anthropomorphized objects that are singing and teaching their lessons. It's like they seem all happy and like, oh, just do this. But then if it's not done exactly how they want it, things hit the fan.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, that's weird.
Like you don't know the rules or something. Like they don't know the rules necessarily going into it.
So again, Roy is shown in a lot of episodes, but the thing that's really interesting about it is that, sometimes it is really obvious. Like I said, when he's at the mic night or in that little piece that I showed you where the Yellow Guy like actually introduces him.
Yeah.
But sometimes you would literally only see him if you paused the video at the right time.
Oh.
and like saw that he's lurking in the shadows in the corner.
Yeah.
Or there's this part where the duck hits the camera, supposedly. And so the
Okay.
camera like shakes and then it kind of looks up at the ceiling. And then it's like you realize that they're at a studio set and Roy is like watching from above.
Oh my God.
And again, you would only see that if you like paused it, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Like, this
it's
is
too
like-
fast.
Like the first time watching it through, you would not get it. But as
Right.
people do like frame by frame or something like that, then
Yes.
they're like, did anyone else notice this or something? I could see it like on a
Yeah.
Reddit subreddit, you know?
Oh, yeah. It
Yeah,
went
for
crazy
sure.
on Reddit.
I believe it.
It's where I got a lot of my info. Just,
Yeah.
like
That's
some
where I
of
get
them
a lot
anyways.
of my where I get a lot of my info still.
And like, again, that would also be the frame by frame was like when I was saying that the red guy's head was in the microwave.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Like,
yep.
same.
It's all very thought out, just planned, I feel like, by these people.
All the detail.
It's impressive.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different theories as to what's going on. One of the common ideas is that this is all in Red Guy's mind. This is all a dream of his. And that the show is basically about him having to grow up and like, I don't know, just kind of move on from childhood.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then he's working like that office job and
Right.
yeah. Okay.
He's not adjusting to his grown-up world.
Yeah.
Another kind of simple idea is that they're just like all in purgatory.
Mm-hmm. Like the in-between. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a YouTuber, the film theorist. I feel like he's extremely popular, but he has a whole series about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. So he's got some videos decoding the meaning. So some of the ideas that he talks about is like the three characters, they're just stars of a kid's show. And the creators of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared are trying to make a point that kids' shows and ads are basically corrupting kids' minds. So it's like they have this, you know, idea that they want to teach kids, but really they're just corrupting them. Especially, I would say, the ads part, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
In the healthy episode, I feel like it especially relates to that because it's just like, what is healthy? And, you know, there's always these commercials and ads for what is healthy, but really that's not healthy. Like, let's say fruit snacks, for example. Oh, these are 100% fruit, but literally that's just candy.
Right.
I don't know.
I all these theories, I'm like, I can see all of them.
Yeah.
You
it's
know?
just fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's fun to find which one you think fits the best. Another one is that this is basically like Roy's show and his son is in the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he found Red Guy while like watching that Mike night. So it's kind of saying that the order, like the episodes are out of order.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the first one might be later on or something.
Right. That theory is like not necessarily my favorite, but
Okay. I was gonna say, do they say like what order it would be in, or
no, not really. Just kind of like the idea that
just random?
Roy found Red Guy and then just brought him on the show as well. This one's pretty dark. Another theory is that Roy is torturing his son. And part of why that theory came to be is because we know June 19th is a common date in each episode, but in one of them, you can actually see the year as well. There's like a picture on the wall and it says June 19th, 1955. And if you look up that date, that was actually Father's Day that year.
Oh.
And so like maybe something happened and I don't know, Roy's just torturing him for Father's Day every year. I don't know.
Okay. Feels like a little bit of a stretch, but the 1955 thing is interesting.
It's interesting,
to look into.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's actually more stuff about that as well that had to do with British TV, some stuff that happened that year in relation to commercials and stuff like that. So
like
that's a whole rabbit hole anyone can go down if you want. And then lastly, there's the idea that, again, this is Roy's show and he's basically forcing the characters to do it for more and more money because there is another theme, Easter egg amongst some of the episodes about money.
Okay.
The film theorist does some great work explaining all of that.
Yeah.
If you are interested in that, feel free to look that up. I don't think that I truly believe in any of them. Like, I think they're just kind of fun to think about. And that's why I ended up going down so many rabbit holes. I was just thinking it would be fun from the creator's perspective to just throw so much random crap at people and just see what they come up with.
Yeah, leave it all open-ended, whatever your brain comes up with, and then leaving it open-ended and not ever explaining any of it. That's fun.
It is fun. It makes me want to do it.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like we would just come to the table with something totally random. Like, what was it? The steak eating the something or
the can ate the duck.
yes, okay, yeah, and it's just like what the like where'd you pull that from? Then it's just like let's see what people say. I like that. I like it's like inspiring creativity and like deeper thinking, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But just remember, green is not a creative color.
But
so
green is not creative, so
yeah.
I got to go repaint my living room. So
yeah, I have to get rid of most of my wardrobe because I love green. Do you think that you will watch it, honestly?
Honestly, yes.
Okay. It doesn't take long. You know,
That's
each episode is only, 3 to 6 minutes long.
I'm really curious, like I said, to know if PJ's seen it before.
Yeah. I could see him having at least seen the first one.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like that one went pretty viral because it just has that shock factor of like, what the heck did I just watch? I need to share this with somebody else.
You're going to get some good like screenshots of my face being like,
yeah,
like just like so good.
For the thumbnail. Oh, I can't
wait.
That's funny.
No, I will. I it's intriguing to me because I like weird stuff.
Yeah.
And it did freak me out and I might have nightmares, but I'm
so
just
sorry.
like, it's it's intriguing.
You just see Roy in your closet.
Do you remember
Sorry for that.
No. Do you remember that Momo? Was it Momo? Like it was like an art piece that somebody made, and then it was really creepy.
Sounds so like vaguely familiar.
But
I was about
that stuck in my head for a really long time. But they look a lot, I feel like, less creepy. But I like people's creativity. And even if things are intentional, it can still be random to like leave it open to interpretation, I guess. You know, some of like the dates and things like that, or like we're going to keep that as a theme, or God, people are creative.
They're so creative.
Yeah, exactly. So creative.
So if you watch it, everybody remember that you've been warned. I thought that this was funny. The top comment on the YouTube for like the first one says, you know how most parents just put on something random for their children and then leave them be? There had to be at least one parent who put this on for their child.
Yep. And I regretted it later.
Yeah. As I was like trying to get things set up for this, and I just kept like minimizing my screen whenever Leon would come over because I didn't want him to go, what's that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he would get interested because it feels like a kid show. Yeah.
And what is that? And so I thought this would be a good transition because speaking of comments, we have been wanting to bring up comments in the episode, but I keep forgetting.
Comment corner.
Comment corner. To steal side note.
What can we do that's our own? But we can think about that later. Comment section.
You're good at that type of thing, I feel like. Oh, you came up with the hyperfixation chime, and
nobody has commented on that, by the way, and I'm very proud of hyperfixation chime.
I know, and that's been around since episode 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And that literally is one of the funniest puns.
I think it's so funny.
Like, I think it's literally hilarious. One of the best outcomes of this podcast so far. Anyways,
we'll come up with something. But yeah, comments.
So on TikTok, in regards to the roadside attractions episode and talking about Bishop's Castle, Raven says, Old Man Bishop used to let us party there back in the day. Good times. I'm surprised we all survived, to be honest.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I just thought that was fun. I really enjoy like when we did Whittier and we got so many people that live there commenting, and now I'm having the same thing happen with all the roadside attraction videos or TikToks. It's like people that have been there or like that's just like a big part of their life have been commenting, and I just love that. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And the other thing I just wanted to say that wasn't as fun is that I did learn that the author Neil Gaiman is a terrible person.
Wait, what was he for again?
Because he wrote American Gods, which featured House on the Rock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently
he's a terrible. What's wrong with him?
Has some sexual assault charges, I will say.
Oh no. Yeah. Okay, well we regret adding that.
Yeah, but I did appreciate everybody that mentioned it. Nobody was like, "How dare you talk about him?"
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like everybody was
FYI. Yeah.
And it was people just being like, oh, yeah, I loved that book so much until it's such a shame that he had to be a terrible person. So then I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
I had to look it up.
Oh, man. Yeah. Bummer. But we do not endorse that then.
Yeah. But yeah, that is today's episode.
Nice. I think the one comment I wanted to talk about was somebody said, well, it was the second episode, that somebody commented on Spotify just saying like, for our Crows and Ravens episode, 25 minutes in, and I haven't even heard the word crow or raven or something like that, which is totally fair because it was episode 2, we were figuring things out, and we're coming up to a year, and I know if we go back and listen to our first maybe 15 episodes, we're going to be like cringing. I was learning how to edit. We were trying to figure out timing, and totally fair. Appreciate the comment. You can skip ahead for those things if you don't want to hear all the talk and whatnot. And I'm just like, I just know we're going to go back and just be like, oh God, but you got to start somewhere. So appreciate people following along as we try to get better at all of this as we're coming up on a year. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
So that's all.
I liked the one that you sent me on YouTube. I'm sorry to keep talking about all of these comments, but I liked the one that you saw on YouTube where the girl said that we deserve more subscribers or whatever she said.
Share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. We're doing this for fun. You know, this is what it's about. It's our own curiosities. So
I just got to yap about this show that I was obsessed with. So
I can't wait to watch it. Well, that was really fun. I like being both intrigued and horrified sometimes, so I'm gonna see where it goes when I watch it. But that's it for this week's rabbit hole. Next week, oh God, no, I don't have anything yet.
Okay.
God, I need to think about this stuff ahead of time, but I'm such a procrastinator. Go back to episode 4.
Yeah, true. Good memory, Erin.
I know. Look at that. I remember that one. So honestly, even we don't know where we will end up next time, but tell us what you are hyperfixated on. Drop it in the comments, DMs, or email us, and maybe your obsession will make it into a future episode. We still really want to do a listener episode. You can also buy us a coffee. You can also, once we get to 500 followers, we're going to release a cringe video of us from like...
We're at almost 200 on TikTok.
Ayo, only 300 to go. But we will release a cringe video because we have plenty of those. So if you're interested, let us know. And until then, embrace the spiral, stay curious, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
It's hyperfixation time.